So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna tap lock 3 times. You just tap, tap, tap. Give it a second and it'll turn the fuel pump on and all that good stuff, and she'll fire up. So the first thing that we're going to do is remove the lower steering shroud right here underneath the steering column. I find it easiest to go ahead and start the vehicle. This will let you guys rotate the steering wheel nice and freely. You're going to go ahead and remove the Phillips screw right here on the right side, and then rotate the steering wheel over and remove the screw here on the left. So go ahead and remove those 2 screws right now. And once you guys have the screws removed, you simply put your panel popper in here and break the 2 clamshells loose and go ahead and remove it. The next panel we're going to pop off is going to be this one right here. So just put your panel popper in here and you can simply pry that out and set this aside. The next thing we're going to do is grab the dash panel right here and pull straight back on it, and then go over here on this side and do the same thing, and you're basically just going to pop it loose. So now that we have the dash panel pulled out, go ahead and stick the panel popper in to wedge it out a little bit. We don't have to pull this whole bottom dash panel off like in other videos. We do not have to access the BCM back here. The only reason that we're popping the dash off is so we have a place to securely mount the remote start module so it is not flopping around and rattling. So there's 3 connectors that we need to tie into. There's right here at the headlight switch. So you're gonna go ahead and just unplug this white one. There is the ignition switch, which is the big one right here. And then the other one is underneath the dash, which is this white one right here. So take a screwdriver and you're going to pop this tab in and push it out like so, and that will also be a T-harness. So we're over here on the passenger side. Our interrupt TPMS connector is going to basically go right behind the glove box, but you do not have to pull all of this out. You can simply remove this panel underneath. There's a tab in here that you can push and pull down. You're gonna need 2 hands, so let me do that and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So it just popped down. This goes up just like so. And you'll see these tabs right here. So underneath the slots, you can push on that tab right there and then pull this down. So I basically just use a little pry tool, and you can get up in here and push the tab, pull it down, and you're good to go. So no screws or anything. You got 1, 2, 3 tabs, 4 tabs, and then a push clip right here. I'm gonna give you guys a quick rundown on the wire harness before we jump in the truck and install it. You'll notice over here that we have the heavy gauge harness. This is our main ignition harness. The secondary harness right here, we have an OBD2T harness, and then this is our parking light switch harness. Up here, these will be our remote start module connectors. The orange pigtail is going to be 15 through 17 Sequoia. Otherwise, this orange wire can just be snipped off, and it will also be referenced in the installation guide. And then over here, we have an A50 adapter. So basically how this works is you plug it into here, and then we have 1, 2, 3 connectors right here that plug into the remote start module. And this is going to be our interrupt that goes over behind the glove box, and we will show you how to install that here in a second. We're gonna go ahead and start right here underneath the steering column. We're just gonna go ahead and route the main harness over to the left side. Since we took our ignition harness out of its socket already, we're simply just going to plug it in to ours, and then take the other end of ours and plug it into the actual ignition switch, and make sure you plug it in there where it clicks in. The next harness up here we're going to install is the headlight switch harness. So you basically just plug this right into ours, and then take the other end of ours, plug it right back up into the switch. Make sure it clicks in. The yellow loop here, you're going to cut if you guys have auto headlights. So look on your headlight stock. If it says auto, snip that yellow wire in half. If you do not have auto, just leave it intact like so. The white wire is for the Scion XD. It has a different plug here, so this will have to be hardwired. Obviously on the Tundra and Sequoia, we just snip this off, put a little tape around it, and you're good to go. So now go ahead and route this over on this main loom. You're going to zip tie it down the loom, and then we're gonna come over to the left behind this metal dash brace here. Once you guys are over here, take the OBD2 T-harness, and you're just simply going to drop it down underneath the dash, right where your factory one is. Once you have it down here, you're gonna go ahead and take the end of ours that matches your OEM connector and just plug it straight in. And then you're gonna take the other end of our harness and pop it right back into the metal mounting plate right here, like so. So we're over here on the passenger side. Our interrupt TPMS connector is going to basically go right behind the glove box. All right, so this is a little tricky to get a camera in here in both of my hands. So we're gonna go underneath the dash. And basically what I tell people to do is find the airbag loop right here, which is the yellow wire, and go straight up. And you're gonna see the gray box that's mounted to the frame. And this is our connector right here, this white one. So let me go ahead and unplug that. I'll install the T-harness and then you guys can see what it looks like. So we got the factory connector unplugged. As you can see, it's plugged into our harness. And then you're simply going to take the other end of ours and put it up here behind the dash and plug it into that module. And once you have that, we're gonna go ahead and route the pigtail portion with the red connector. You're going to zip tie it to the wire loom that comes over and then simply fish it over to the driver's side. And basically what we're gonna do is tape it on to our little long zip tie or fish tape or whatever you guys wanna use. And we're gonna route it over to the driver's side. So there's lots of room right here in front of the center console. You just go over with your zip tie or fishing tool or whatever it is. You're gonna tape the red connector onto here. Make sure that you guys tape all the way around the connector because you don't want to pull the wires out of it. Fish it over, pop this panel on, plug this into the A50 over on the driver's side, and the harness is complete. Because firmware and programming can change, we are not going to show that in the video. Please refer to our installation guide for the most up-to-date programming procedure for your remote start kit. All right guys, so we got the Tundra finished up. Keep in mind this is the same installation and operation for the Tundra and the Sequoia listed at the beginning of the video. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna tap lock 3 times and wait a second and the truck will fire up. So you just hit tap, tap, tap. Give it a second and it'll turn the fuel pump on and all that good stuff and she'll fire up. There you go. So when you're ready to leave, you simply tap the unlock button and then you can come out here, get in the truck. And then once you're in here, you'll see that our tach is on, radio's on, and to do takeover, put the key in the ignition, turn it 2 clicks, tap and release the brake pedal, and now you can drive away.